Hello, how you doing out there, guys? This is our episode 3, and this is Uncle Yab, and you're listening to Gabbing with Yab. Now today, the topic will be interracial relationships. Now, this particular topic is pretty dear to my heart because I was in an interracial relationship. I was married to a Caucasian woman for 9 years. And that's why I chose to talk about it, because a lot of people, they don't want to talk about it. They feel as though it's taboo. But I'm here to say, and I'm also here to tell you guys that that's what's going on. That's what's going on today. You know, you have different races mixing and matching, and you have interracial marriages, you have interracial dating, you have interracial relationships, and it's definitely widespread. I'm here up in Boston, and you see it all the time here, because Boston, Massachusetts is multicultural, so you're going to definitely see a lot of mixing and matches of the races and things like that. I, for one, I like to talk about my situations. I was married for 9 years to a Caucasian lady. We have 2 beautiful daughters, and it was a little different. It was different for me. First of all, when you're dealing with interracial relationships, you got a lot of stuff you have to think about. Mainly family members. You know, are your family going to approve of him or her? How will they accept you? Will they kick you out? Will they shun you? Will they kick you out of the will? And you never know what may happen with individuals, because you never know the way people are thinking. Back in the old days, my grandma used to tell me, boy, you better stay in your race. And she was from North Carolina. And to be honest with you, I couldn't wait to get my hands on some of them. Not because she said that, but just being a man and just being me, just exploring. And like I said, it could be a touchy situation. It can be different. Me and my ex-wife, we went through a few things, and we ended up divorced. I'm happily divorced now for a little, almost 3 years. And I'm not going to bash her or anything like that. But what I will tell you is, the way I look at it is, what was my thing as far as my divorce is, I look at it as I just married the wrong woman. And things can happen. You can marry the wrong person and it can all fall apart. No matter how much you make it, no matter how much you have kids or how many times you try to force things to happen, if you're not what I call evenly yoked, if you're not compatible, if you don't have something in common, sooner or later it's going to break down. The marriage is going to break down, the relationship is going to break down, and you're going to come to a divorce or some type of breakup. And that's bad, because in my situation, I had just turned 50, and this was my second marriage, and I was like, "Come on, man, you gotta get this right." But things happen, and right now I'm in a good place in my life where I'm enjoying my divorce. I'm enjoying doing me, and I'm enjoying taking care of my kids, and which I've always done. And it also opened up my eyes to a few different things. I had to look at myself in the mirror and ask myself, how much can I tolerate? What is my breaking point? What are some of the things that I need to require in a woman? And the things that I always thought that I was good about or thought that I wanted in a woman, this young lady didn't have. So I'm not, like I said, not bashing her, but make a long story short, we just wasn't compatible. Now, I know a lot of other couples out there that's the interracial couples and things like that, and hopefully you guys are getting along and doing what you're supposed to do, but it's definitely hard. First of all, me being an Afro-American man, I like certain foods. And my ex-wife definitely couldn't cook the food that I like. And it wasn't her fault, it's just that she wasn't used to it. She tried, and she tried, and she tried. And I always went back to my mother and say, Mom, how you cook this? How you cook that? But it's hard because now you have to, that wife or that lady that you're dealing with that's not your ethnicity has to make sure she can please you or make sure she puts a smile on your face. And it goes both ways. The male have to do the same thing. And I'm not saying conform, but I am saying that we should be able to come to an agreement. And a lot of people say, oh, we can do things 50-50. No, I'm going to do it 100-100. If you're going to do things right or you're going to make a relationship or a marriage work, she have to come with 100% and you have to come with 100%. Because if not, it's going to fail. It's going to fail every time. But that's either here or there. You still have to pick up the pieces and do what you got to do. Now, a lot of times when you're dating from a different environment from out of your race, you might have cultural differences. You might have religious differences. And you just might have family members that just don't like it or just can't see it. So you got to deal with a lot of different things. Just remember, it's 2019, and everybody's doing everything. And I'm not to say just because it's 2019, you go do what you got to do and do what you think is right. But just remember this: when you're dealing with any woman or any man, whether he or she is red, green, blue, or brown, he is a man first and she is a woman first before she's a white woman, Caucasian woman, black man, white man, Puerto Rican woman. There are men and there are a woman first. And then, everything else really doesn't matter. But what does matter is how that person treats you, how that person makes you feel, and if he or she loves you unconditionally, not just for the time being, or all of a sudden he or she gets tired of you, because a marriage is a matrimony. You know what they say, to death do us part. So you got to put that in consideration. And not only that, you have to have some type of camaraderie there. It has to be some type of percentage of what you can tolerate, and that's with any marriage, interracial or not. It's a lot of interaction. There's a lot of talking. There's a lot of discussing. There's a lot of soul searching. It's a lot of crying, and you have to come to a conclusion. What can you tolerate? What can you be able to stand in he or she? After that, or during that time, you have kids. Kids coming into the relationship, and a lot of time kids can make a relationship sour. Not to say kids are not good or anything like that, but a lot of times when parents or when couples have kids, a lot of the things that they are dealing with gets put on the back burner. Because of course you got to raise your kids. But I will tell you guys this: married couples, interracial married couples, or whatever, you have to make time for your spouse. Make time for each other. Have what you call an adult night out. Have what I call a sexy day, where you go out with your wife, girlfriend, significant other, or however it may be, and just enjoy the time spent with you guys. Because the rigors of raising a family and going to work and coming home and raising kids, that can get a little sour. It can get a little tough. So trust me, you have to make time for each other. Bring her flowers or something like that. Just tell her we're going to go on a date night. Maybe he needs a new towel, some underwear, or just call him and tell him, hey, baby, I'm thinking about you or something like that. That's always good. And once you do things like that, you putting forth an effort. You putting forth that 100%. But like I said, it's a two-way street. And if you putting 100% into that marriage or to that affair, you need the other person to put in 100%. Because it can't be a one-way street when it comes to a relationship. Both of you have to put in 100% and 100% to make it work. And the biggest thing that I see wrong with different relationships or different couples, communication. You have to talk, people. You have to talk. She can't read your mind. He can't read your mind, ladies. So you got to communicate. I'm not a magician. I don't have a crystal ball. So we got to sit down and figure out what's going on. What's going on at work? Is something bothering you at home? Do you have health problems? Maybe we can work it out together. And with couples of any race, if you guys having problems, sit down and talk. Sit down and work it out. See what's going on. Get it out in the open, and you'll feel a lot better. A lot of interracial couples, they deal with a lot of different issues. Like I told you, the way people were brought up. I know one thing as far as the religious thing. I was brought up and raised Baptist. My ex-wife was Catholic, and I just wasn't into the Catholic religion. I don't have nothing against it. I just wasn't into it. So, she wasn't an avid Catholic, but she was raised Catholic. So we had our kids Christian in the Catholic Church, but after that, we never stepped foot in the church. Not that I didn't want to, but I knew that I wanted to be in a Baptist setting. That's where I was raised, and that's what I wanted to do. And once again, she wasn't for that. And like I said, that's a strain. That can definitely be a strain on a relationship. Or she wasn't willing to say, well, you go ahead and do your thing, I'm going to go ahead and do my thing or whatever. And definitely you have to have support. If you don't have support on both parts, your relationship, your marriage is going to break down. Regardless of what's going on, you need support. Whether it's helping the kids with their schoolwork, whether it's cooking in the kitchen, you may want to help fixing the car. I know some ladies that help you fix a car, and that's cool. If that's cool, as long as she out there getting greasy like you doing, then she's all right. That's a good woman. That's a good woman. So keep her, definitely keep her. But women and men are different. They really different. They made different. They built different. And I always say it's about love, commitment, and it's definitely about what you can tolerate. If she's a good woman for you, then that's all that matters. Who cares about what your family say? Because at the end of the day, your family ain't sleeping with her. Your family ain't waking up to her. Your family not, doing things that you and her do together. Your family just seeing things from their mind and their perspective, which might not be always the right thing. And you guys know as well as I know, sometimes family members can be hard on you. Sometimes they can help you, and sometimes they can hurt you. But God knows I love all my family. But like I said, sometimes family can see things that you can't see. They might not tell you, but at the end of the day or at the end of the relationship, hey, I never did like that woman. She was something else. Okay, now you tell me. But at the end of the day, like I said, you have to make the decision on your own. You can't just have families dictating your relationship. You definitely have to make a decision and come to a conclusion that is this the woman that I want to be for the rest of my life, or just the man that I want to be with the rest of my life? Okay, I'm dealing with certain flaws here, flaws there. But once again, it's what you can tolerate. It's a percentage of you can tolerate with it. You can feel it. If you feel as though you can get over the hump with certain things, or she might get better, or he might get better, then go with it. But if it's something, if you're trying, and that particular person just, can't see the light of day, or just not on the same page as you, and once again, I'll say it, if you guys are not evenly yoked, that's the main thing. then it's not going to work. It's not going to work, you guys. But having somebody is a beautiful thing. You know, right now, you know, I'm doing some dating out there and things like that. And I have a girlfriend, a little over a year now. And once again, I'm in the interracial status. And she's a good person. She's a really good person. Definitely what I'm looking for in a woman. So, but before I found her, I was definitely hard on him. I was definitely saying, hey, I need to do some interviews. I want to make sure she's right for me. I want to make sure her and I can laugh and joke. I want to make sure she likes the same foods that I like. And that's another thing. She got to like the same food. If she don't like seafood or soul food or whatever, you may get away with it with the soul food because not everybody eats soul food. But if you're a seafood man, you definitely want your significant other to like seafood as well because it'll make the transition just that much easier. And, you know, a lot of things. She may not parent like you do. You may be a Gestapo, or she may be lenient on the kids. So once again, you got to sit each other down and come to an agreement on how you're going to do things because if you're pushing and pulling and if you're not going forward the right way, that's going to be another strain. It's going to be another strain. But I'm all for marriages, regardless if it's interracial or not. It's just that the two I had didn't work out. But, hey, I'm getting better at it. You learn and you grow. And I learned a lot about myself in those two marriages, a lot about myself. And it took me 52 years. But I think I halfway got it right. You know, I think I understand what I want as a, you know, for my partner. And I think I have it in a young lady now. So, you know, we're doing what we're doing. We're letting it go with the flow, like I always say. And who knows? Who knows what may happen? So this is my thing I'm passing on to all you guys out there. If you're in an interracial relationship, always make sure you cross your T's and dot your I's. Make sure that significant person is right for you, because you have to always realize and keep in the back of your head, he or she is coming from a different ethnic background, different views, different values. So if you guys don't have something in common, it's going to be hard. It's really going to be hard. And once again, don't look at he or she as a black man or white woman. She's a woman first. He's a man first. Before the color is a factor in anything. You definitely got to have some love. Definitely got to have some affection. And if you're into the God, into your religion, that has to be one thing too. Both of you guys have to be on one accord with that. You have to believe. If you don't believe, then both of you guys just don't believe. But I don't think you have a person that believes and a person that don't believe. I don't think that's going to work. But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion from my Uncle Yab. And I'm here just passing on some good information because I got a lot to say. So I'm going to let you guys know I'm going to be here again with another podcast because I got a lot on my mind. And I'm here to do this. So hopefully you guys will support me. And I'll be putting my stuff out periodically. And hopefully everything goes well with your relationship wherever you are, whether it's interracial or, you know, same relation or same ethnic group. God bless you on it. And have a good night.